Tampa Bay. 4-1 the final. How about this into the break?
You can't stop the Sox. 10 in a row to close out the first half. What an unbelievable first half. I mean, this has been an absolute pleasure. This has been a treat. This has been amazing. I mean, how long has it been, since we've felt like this? Sure, the Red Sox, they were in a pretty good position last year going into the deadline, but you didn't have as much talent on that team like you do this year. This team is full of talent, but most of all, this team is together. It's fantastic to watch. Like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to watch this team. On multiple occasions here in the first half, we were just about out of it. Down and out. You're ready to pack things up. You're already thinking about, all right, who could we trade at the deadline? Who could we get, to help us out for the next couple of years? This team doesn't have it. Many times that happened. Going into the Bronx, that one series, after, getting swept by the Angels not too long ago, after the Rafi trade, losing 2 out of 3, to the Angels, where, Seti, we'll get to Seti here in just a little bit, but, getting the pesky pole home run to, somehow, some way salvage the series. And even people out there were saying, oh, well, the Red Sox shouldn't have even won that game, right? Many times we have thought this team is done. This team doesn't have it. You got, go back to Milwaukee. They're making tons of defensive errors, tons of base running blunders. How many times did we see in the first half where you see guys on the radio, people on Twitter saying, this team is just straight dumb. This team is just straight stupid. How many times did you see that? Because of all the errors they were making, right? This team doesn't have it fundamentally. So many things. And, it was right there in front of your face. The eye test was not doing the job for you. All right. You could look at all the stats. You could find things. But no matter how you saw it, the way the cookie crumbled, you just didn't see a good team. Combined with all the losing, you're thinking, all right, it's probably not going to happen this year. Good off season, make a couple of good trades at the deadline. Then we can really go on a run in 2026. But then the Rafi trade happened, right? I'm sorry, I keep bringing up the Rafi thing, but it's a big part of this year. It just is, no matter how you want to slice it. That will go down as one of the most memorable moments in Red Sox history. So I know I say, oh, sorry for bringing it up, but it's like that's such a big deal for this season. The fact that we saw that trade this year, you're all gonna, when you're old, when you're hobbling to your bed at night, you're gonna remember when Rafi Devers. Remember when he got traded? That's a big moment, man. When Manny got traded back in 2008, Nomar back in 2004, I'll always remember those because those were big deals. And I'm going to remember the Rafi trade on a similar level. But I said the game after that Rafi trade, when they beat Seattle, I'm thinking to myself, there's something different about this team. There's just something different in the air. I said it, the last couple of streams now, you can't quite put your finger on it. And I just felt it. I can't even describe it. I've been a fan for a long time and I've seen so many different teams and I don't know. It was just the way they were playing in that game. It was just the body language. It was just something different. Even though there were a few losses there in the first couple of series after Rafi, something just felt different to me and you're starting to see it now. 10 straight wins, first time since 2018. First time. That actually I know that's a long win streak, but you go back to 2019, right? That team was still very good. 2021, obviously, they had a great run. They won 9 straight in 2021. But 2018, the first time since that they have won 10 straight. I have to go back a little further to see when was the last time they won 11 straight. But listen, I'm going to take 10 straight wins to close out the first half. That is absolutely incredible. Just a lot of other good things happening here today, right? Of course, you got the same old. King Seti is just absolutely phenomenal. Why this guy is not at the All-Star game, I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to say this. You know what? This man has put the Red Sox on his back multiple times. You know what? I'm going to say the man deserves a few days off. Go home, relax, Go get yourself a rest. Go get yourself a few good meals. Go enjoy some family time. Said he earned it. Sure, we'd love to see him at the All-Star game, but you know what? Honestly, I bet he would honestly like a few days off too. I think any of these guys would, right? I mean, sure, it would be an amazing experience for him, but he's got a lot of other All-Star games in the future, and I'm sure he's going to get to one eventually. But I think it's a good few days off for Seti. This guy has put the team on his back multiple times. How about Trevor Story keeping it going here today? How many times in the first half here are we saying, oh, we got a DFA Story. Get this guy out of town. Send Story to the Sun. Trade him somehow, some way. Eat the contract if you got to. Get this guy off the team. I came into the season saying Trevor Story was a guy I was high on for this year. I didn't think he was going to have, an MVP caliber season. But a guy, if he stayed healthy, that was the big thing to me, because this is a guy that just does a lot of good things well. No, is he flashing that defense that we've seen over the last couple of years when he's healthy? No, but, you even saw a play today. There was one play where it took a pretty quick hop on him that would have eaten up a lot of shortstops, and that's going to be one of those plays where, it's not going to pop up on, the Sports Center top 10. It's just solid plays like that. I don't know if you remember which play I'm talking about. I forget what inning it was, but there was a pretty hard hit ball, had a good amount of spin on it, took a decent hop, and he just kind of jumped with it, and he just made a good play, right? It's those plays that Trevor Story makes that goes under the radar, but it's plays like that where that could eat up another shortstop out there, and who knows, maybe that could end up turning into, some kind of runs, right? But Story, he just makes the solid play. And he's even had a couple of little web gems himself. He just had that Derek Jeter-esque play this past series, right? I think he made it look better than Derek Jeter, might I add. I'm just saying. But Trevor Story, he's just been very solid. I'm very happy for the guy. I'm glad that he's healthy and he's producing. He's one of the better shortstops in Major League Baseball. And there's still going to be people out there that they're going to say, oh, you got to get rid of Story. No, you need a guy like that on this team where he's not going to be loud. He's not going to be brash. He's just going to go out there and just play a good baseball game. All right. He's going to get the job done defensively. He's going to contribute offensively. He's going to, like he's done many times this year, he gets on and then he steals second base, right? He just does a lot of little things well that I think go underappreciated. As for the game here today, obviously Seti, home run today. The guy, what a first half he's had. Capping it off with a home run here today. You got to love it. The offense here today, just solid overall across the board. It didn't have a lot of opportunities, but they just took advantage of the few opportunities they had. Got to love it. Roman, Meyer coming through with a couple of doubles here today. Bregman picking up a hit before the All-Star break. Got to love that. Gets a little momentum going in. I think he's going to go to the All-Star game. He's not going to participate, but he'll be there. I think he's going to be bringing his son, his family, so that'll be good. Bregman, sure, he missed a lot of time here in the first half, but hey, what a pickup he's been. And, I can't say it enough how awesome of not just a player he's been, but a teammate that he's been. You just see the camera crew on Nesson. They flash towards the dugout, and it seems like every time you look towards the dugout, he's talking to one of these guys. He's talking shop. He's doing something. He's talking to Meyer, Roman, whatever it may be. He's just an ultimate team player. And that's one of the reasons I was saying for the Red Sox, they had to bring him in this past offseason. That's exactly the kind of guy you needed. And nice to see him going to the All-Star break with a decent amount of momentum here. As for Brayan Bello keeps up the solid pitching. No, do I think he's an ace of a staff? No. Do I even think he's a number 2? No. I'm not fully confident with Bello being a number 2 just yet. But I'm very comfy with giving him the ball right now in a Game 3 situation, either him or Lucas Giolito. I'm perfectly fine with one of those guys getting Game 3, Game 4. And Brayan Bello, he just continues to look amazing out there. Very solid. Very solid here today. His last 3 starts, 20 and a third innings pitched, 5 earned runs. That's a 2.24 ERA, 18 strikeouts over that time. We'll break down his outing here today. Just everything is feeling great. I see you in the chat here. Euphoria. Red Sox diehard said Red Sox, let's go. Oh, you said that. Euphoria, you said that as well. Zachary, that's a good point about Trevor Story as well. 16 for 16 stolen bases. Drew 617. Story is the story, kid. Gotta love it. Connor Russell, Story is a better defensive player than Jeter. I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. I see a lot of you in the chat. JB, how you doing, my friend? Doc, Connor, Joe, Mark, how we doing? We got Assassin here in the chat. Michael, hello. Gabriel, how you doing? Corbin, what's going on? Jordan, hello. Tommy, Harry, how we doing, everybody? But we're going to get into it here. We are going to move through this pretty quickly. I am going to be going live over on the main channel for the draft. We're going to be recapping every single pick. We're going to be reacting to every pick in the first round. I'll probably stay around for a few of the compensation picks, the competitive balance picks. There are only 27 picks in the actual first round. The Mets, Yankees, and the Dodgers, they don't have a pick in the first round, but they do have some compensation picks later on. But I will be reacting to every pick in the first round, and that starts up in about an hour or so. So we're going to move pretty quickly here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. Mark P., what is the main channel? Mark P., welcome, my friend. The main channel is just my name, Robbie Hyde. So just type that on YouTube. You'll see the stream. It's already ready to go. It's already posted. So yeah, 6 p.m. That's when the draft starts. I might be going a little earlier than that, just to kind of get a preview going. But we'll be live for the draft tonight, and we'll see who the Red Sox pick at number 15. I'll go over a couple of options before we wrap up things here today. But everybody, we're going to get this going here. If you can, hit the like button for me. How many likes we got? We only got 18 likes and 153 people in the chat. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing? I got to do the classic YouTube stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get this started. But before we do, we got to pay the bills. We got to keep the lights on. I'll be right back.
AJ, we're in Vegas right now, and I have not had a lot of time to eat during the day. So
no.
What could we do?
I would love a Huel right now. Vanilla Huel would go down perfectly because when I have to skip meals because I'm too busy doing what you do in Vegas, which is not eat, I need a quick replacement, and Huel is the perfect thing.
I'm a chocolate guy myself. It's got the chocolate milkshake vibes to it. If you miss a meal, Huel can be your answer. If you're looking for a big protein boost, Huel can be your answer. So go check it out. Our friends at Huel are part of today's sponsorship. They've got you covered, spelled Huel. That black edition is a complete meal to feel full, focused, and ready for your day. Little prep, basically no prep. Shake it, open it. Huel has sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it's your turn to try it. So go to Huel.com/foul and get Huel today with the exclusive offer for the FT fam of 15% off for new customers if you use the code, you know it, FOUL, minimum $75 purchase. Get after it.
Let's get to Brian Bayo to kick things off, shall we? And we actually do have a question here. Corbin, who would you rather them trade for, Robbie? Joe Ryan or Freddie Peralta? I'm going to say, I know this is a bit of a cop-out answer, but I'm really good with either or. I think both guys fit the bill. Freddie Peralta, I mean, you could argue he could be the ace of the staff for a lot. I mean, so I would obviously love Freddie Peralta. But Joe Ryan, in my opinion, like he is just such like he looks like a 2, right? When you look at the numbers, when you see what he can do out there, he just looks like a solid option behind Crochet. I would really be good with either one. I think you can make the argument, Freddie Peralta, he would, I think, cost less because he has 1 year less of control. So I think it's kind of one of those things, right? Do you want to give up more for a couple of years of Joe Ryan, or, would you still give up a lot but less for 1 more year of Freddie Peralta? I think you can go either way. To be honest with you, I am good with either one, man. Let's just get one more guy in this rotation. But Brian Bayo, keeping it very steady here today. Lots of sinkers and 4-seamers today. More sinkers against righties. And then he was going up and away with the 4-seamer a lot against the lefties here today. He was just attacking the zone a ton. He was keeping the ball down for the most part, keeping the changeups down. The changeup looked pretty good today. Didn't throw a ton of them. I hope we see a few more changeups in the second half. I'm nitpicking. The guy's been solid. So I just like his changeup when it looks good, right? There's been times where it hasn't looked all that great. But I hope we see a few more changeups in the second half here. He was getting a lot of whiffs on the sinker here today. 5 strikeouts on the sinker all day. 5 whiffs on the sinker and 3 strikeouts with the sinker. Overall, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned, 5 Ks. Again, he's been tremendous his last few starts. 2.24 ERA over his last 20 1/3 innings pitched. Well, let's get to the offense here. And listen, not a whole lot here today. I had in my notes. I take notes throughout the games here. So, yes, it was 8 hits overall on the day. But you didn't really have a ton of opportunities against Pepio. I said this coming into today with the pregame yesterday. I can't speak. My brain is still fried from researching all of the draft stuff this past week. My goodness gracious. But not a lot of opportunities against Pepio. But like I said in the preview yesterday, where this is a guy that's going to go out there. He's going to be pretty solid, right? You probably give up a few runs, but he's not going to be an easy guy to, you're not going to be expecting to, go to town against Ryan Pepio. Third inning, this is where we got first run on the board, but we got a little bit of excitement as well and a little bit of confusion on one play. Marcelo Meyer with a double, like I mentioned in the intro. How about Connor Wong? I think, did he let me double check just to make sure my eyes are not deceiving me. He had a hit today. Connor Wong with a hit today. You got to love it. How about that? But he had a ground out, moved Meyer over to third, and then there was a pickoff attempt at third, and then Meyer ended up getting called out. You're thinking, oh, great. We had a great opportunity here, and he's getting picked off at third base. Well, they actually called interference on Junior Caminero. So what ended up being where not only did they reverse that call, but Marcelo Meyer got to score, right, because of the interference call. So that made it 1-0. And then the big 6th inning, Roman double off the monster. That is Roman's 9th double. He is now tied for, I have to double check that. I think I might have messed up that note. I put in my notes here, tied for 12th among rookies. He might be in the top 10. There could be another tie in that top 10 somewhere. I could be wrong, but I put in my notes, tied for 12th among rookies. But whatever it may be, in just 31 games, Roman has only played 31 games, and it feels like this guy has been playing for the last 31 years, for crying out loud. How old is Roman Anthony? He's 21, and he feels like he's a 31-year-old man just doing his thing, man, at the major league level. It's been a treat to watch Roman Anthony. You can see why this guy has been loved by scouts. Massa with the ground out, a productive ground out, moved Roman over to third base, and then Story with the RBI base hit off the Massa that made it 2-1, and then King Seti, 2-run home run that made it 4-1. And that was all she wrote for the offense today. But that was more than enough. The bullpen came in after Brian Bayo. Wilson came in. What came in against the righty, you usually see Wilson coming in against the lefties. But you had Chandler Simpson coming up next. And Taylor Walls, not much of a hitter. So they brought him in there. You got Simpson on the ground out. Whitlock shutting it down in the 8th inning. Chapman picking up yet another save. You got to love it, man. Got to love it. 10th straight win. Like I said, first time since 2018. What did they do in 2018 again? My mind is going blank on me. What happened in 2018? Can anyone refresh my brain? I think they won a World Series that year. Is that true? Yeah, I think they won a World Series that year. You got to love it. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win a World Series this year, but the way they're playing right now, holy crap. It's looking pretty good right now. I'm ready for this team in the second half. I'm very excited for this team in the second half. Better buckle our buns because it's gonna get crazy going into the deadline. So let's get to. Obviously, we don't have a game to preview here. They are going to be playing the Cubs. We are going to be doing a stream before we come back from the All-Star break. I believe that day before I'll go live and we'll do kind of like a pretty easygoing show. Just kind of. Preview the second half a little bit. And we'll talk about the Cubs series at that point. But I think we're all just ready to just take a step back here, take a few days off. I know I'm ready for a few days off here. I know I am. I've been working like crazy. But I'm going to go over my first half MVPs really quick. And, we got to start. We got to start with Cedar Rafaela. Who else? This guy's been amazing. Now, would I say he's been the best player on the Red Sox? Well, I think you could argue that, right? When you take a look at what Cedar has done this year, especially the huge step forward that he's taken offensively. This is huge. And with the defense that he has, I think he's one of the more underappreciated players in Major League Baseball, to be honest with you. Zachary, a few days off. A few days off of Red Sox games, right? Yeah, we got got all the All-Star game stuff. That's going to be fun. But let's take a breather a little bit from just, I can't wait for the Red Sox to come back, but it'd be nice to maybe dial it down, celebrate the game for the All-Star game. Honestly, Seti should be at the All-Star game. Do I even want to celebrate the All-Star game? This man should be there. I don't know. But overall, hitting 271, 797 OPS. He is so close to an 800 OPS. We can smell it, ladies and gentlemen. 14 homers, 13 stolen bases. He is actually the third highest when it comes to Fangraph wins above replacement, only behind Pete Crow Armstrong and Byron Buxton. As you can see here at number 7, you got Julio Rodriguez, who should not be at the All-Star game. I understand the man has some nice eyes. He's a handsome man. I get it. Major League Baseball, they want to promote this guy, but he should not be at the All-Star game. Said he should be at the All-Star game. Shame on you, Major League Baseball, for not putting Seti in the All-Star game. That is a travesty, if you ask me. But he is easily one of my first half MVPs. Carlos Narvaez, we got to talk about him. I'm going through some position players here, so I'm not going in any sort of an order here. I'm just going through position players. But Carlos Narvaez, this has been a big difference for this team this year. You go back to last year, the Red Sox did not rank very well when it came to production from their catchers. You had Connor Wong, you had Reese McGuire, right? But Carlos Narvaez, he's been a revelation, and this is something the Red Sox just haven't had a whole lot, right? You go back to Christian Vasquez, that was the last, good catcher they've had, in my opinion. And Narvaez, he's just been so good. 786 OPS, hitting 273, 347 on base. But it's not just the offense that he's brought to the table, it's the defense. And overall, right now, he ranks 4th among all catchers in Major League Baseball in Fangraph wins above replacement. He's been huge for the Red Sox this year. He's been working well with the catchers. And a lot of people have mentioned with Narvaez just how mature of a player he is, right? It just seems like he's been around this, in the major leagues for a long time. This is such an underrated pickup for Craig Breslow this past offseason. I feel like people forget that he made the trade for Carlos Narvaez. Like, that's massive. That is massive. He's been great. Moving on here. Obviously, Alex Bregman. I know he missed a lot of time here. I've already spoke so highly of Bregman. There's not really much else to say. 298, 926 OPS, 380 on base. He's been great when it comes to the young players. He's been a great teammate. He is a face of the franchise kind of guy. The Red Sox need to get this guy signed up long term. Now, I don't think you necessarily have to be in any sort of a rush to get an extension done. To me, it's a perfect fit. It just works. It's a good fit both on the field and off the field. This is the kind of team leader the Red Sox, I think, have needed for a long time. He fits like a glove, and I'm very excited to see what he does in the second half. And yeah, I'm going to mention Trevor Story. All right, I know a lot of people might disagree here, but sure, he had the rough month in May. Hey, guys, they go on pretty long slumps. It just happens, but for the most part, he's gotten the job done at short. He's been solid there. He's been steady there. 257 batting average, 715 OPS. Doesn't look amazing by any means, but you got to look at where he was at the end of May. He's been just red hot since then. 15 homers, 16 stolen bases, and let's actually take a look-see here when it comes to all shortstops in Major League Baseball. Now, hold on a second. Now, obviously, he's not going to be ranking very high, but I think when you just take a look at what he's been able to do with the bat, 15 homers among all shortstops, that ranks third. Stolen bases, that ranks seventh. So, sure, the overall slash line hasn't been amazing for him, but he's been able to come up in some pretty key spots. He's been able to get the job done. Defense has been steady. No, he's not going to be a top shortstop in Major League Baseball, but he's getting the job done. We're going to look at Wilyer Abreu. Leads the Red Sox in home runs with 18. Remember, he got off to that red-hot start. He's kind of come back down to earth for the most part since then, but he's been pretty steady for the most part, hitting for some power, playing a good defense out in right field. You got to love what Willier's doing. Roman Anthony, I'm going to shout him out too. This team is just completely different with Roman Anthony in the lineup. I mean, he's basically, I don't want to say has replaced Rafi. I think that might be a little too much to say, but he has just slipped right into this lineup, and he has just fit like a glove. He's been productive in the 2 spot, 3 spot, wherever it may be. He's getting on base. He's got a 371 on base for crying out loud. That's insane. He's a rookie. 371 on base. Actually, let's take a look. I'm gonna take a look-see here. Where does that rank among all rookies? And he's only played like 30 games. That's like the crazy thing to me. On-base percentage. Among all rookies that he has 120 plate appearances. Let's put 120 plate appearances. Among all rookies with 120 plate appearances, he ranks second in on-base percentage. Only behind Jacob Wilson. The guy's been massive. Yes, we all know he's been very good, but I think maybe some people might not be seeing just how much he has actually brought to the table here. In small sample, but the guy looks like he belongs here. He's been solid. But everyone, I do have to wrap it up right there. If you are with me on Nessun, if you're watching this on Nessun, we are out of time. But we will be back here right before the All-Star break. We will be previewing the Cubs series. We'll go over the second half, and we'll get into it then. But if you're watching on Nessun, thanks for watching here today. Enjoy the All-Star break, and we'll see you in a few days. But everybody, let's keep going here. Now, Aroldis Chapman. What else is there to say? This guy's been amazing. One of the best closers in baseball. Just picked up his 17th save on the year, and overall, well, he just got a bump here in some Fangraph wins above replacement, but he is tied for first place right now. Coming into today, that does not count his appearance today, when it comes to the leaderboards in F4 among all relievers in Major League Baseball. The guy's just been shutting it down. He's been amazing. ERA, let's look at the updated ERA. 1.18 over 41 games, 17 saves, 58 strikeouts in 38 innings pitched. That is very good. And last but not least, I think you got to say the MVP of the first half, right? Those are all the other guys I just went through. They've been solid. I've been, the top contributors. But I think the bona fide MVP of the Red Sox in the first half is Garrett Crochet. It's I don't think there's any question here. He's been amazing. One of the best pitchers in baseball. 10-4, ERA to 2.23, 20 starts. What else is there to say? Right now, he is second in F4 in all of Major League Baseball, only behind Tarek Skubal. That's ahead of Paul Skeens. 11 strikeouts per 9, 2.3 walks per 9. He has been absolutely amazing. He is my MVP of the Red Sox in the first half. But everybody, we got to wrap it up right there. And really quick, we are going to, just letting you know again, we are going to be live for the draft over on the main channel. Now, I will go here just to give you a bit of an idea. I'm going to talk about this over on the main channel, so don't think, we're not going to be covering the draft here. But just to give you a quick idea, Baseball America, I'm a big fan of Baseball America. I think out of all the outlets, that is probably my number one source. But as of right now, in their final mock for today, they have the Red Sox taking Gavin Keelan out of Tennessee. Good hitter, right? A guy that gets a lot of comparisons to Gavin Lux. For the scouting report here, a natural hitter who made some adjustments this spring to unlock a little bit more power. He's more of a hit over power profile at the next level, should maximize the juice he has and could become a fine defender at second base. Now, I'm really split on what the Red Sox are going to do here for the draft. I think they can go in a bunch of different ways, and this is a really weird draft. There's not really like bona fide guys. I'm going to tell you all this right now. For those of you that have been paying attention, to the draft, you're really into it. We really could see a surprise for the number one pick. I actually just had my, I got a couple of little birdies. They give me some information. There could be a big surprise at the number one pick. You never know. Negotiations for bonuses and whatnot, they can come down to the wire, but there could be a very big surprise at the number one spot. Could see a big underslot deal at the number one spot for the Nationals. We'll wait and see what happens there. But for the Red Sox, again, they have Gavin Keelan. I would look out for guys like, you got Fiend as well. I'll go over here to the leaderboards. Taking a look at the rankings here. So just some guys that I got on the top of my head. I don't know. Jamie Arnold, he might fall a little bit, but I think more so the back half of the top 10. Maybe Kyson Witherspoon could be there for the Red Sox. I don't think Liam Doyle is going to be going outside of the top 10. I don't know. If like Billy Carlson falls, maybe the Red Sox take him. Again, you don't draft for need. So I know a lot of people, if the Red Sox pick a shortstop tonight, it's okay. It's okay. Because remember, you can draft shortstops, but they usually have the versatility to go to other positions as well. And if you pick a guy out of high school, he's, a good 3-4 years away at minimum. So, maybe Billy Carlson falls to them. Could JoJo Parker, perhaps Tyler Bremner. I think he's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Red Sox go with a college arm. They picked a lot of college arms last year. We'll see. I could see maybe Bremner falling a little bit. Kason Cunningham out of high school, he's a really good hitter. A little undersized, so I wonder what the Red Sox think about that. I will say this, Ike Irish, he is number 13 here right now. He could absolutely go in the top 10. He could even go in the top 5, depending on what happens with deals. But for the Red Sox, don't be surprised if maybe Steele Hall is available. Maybe they go with him. Maybe Merrick Houston. You got Vahiva Aloy. Possibly. I could see maybe one of these college shortstops. My hope is Gage Wood. I have had a source tell me that the Red Sox, they are interested in Gage Wood. We'll see if that's the route they go. Gavin Keelan, again, a lot of people are picking Gavin Keelan for the Red Sox. I'm not fully sold. We'll see what happens there. But I'm also looking at Gavin Fiend, a right-handed hitter. Pretty solid hitter coming out of high school. That could be a nice guy to have in your farm system for the next few years. I feel like the Red Sox do need some high upside right-handed bats. I mean, obviously we've seen so many left-handed bats here, but I could see maybe one of those guys. We'll see here. I don't know. Maybe like someone like a Daniel Pierce. Maybe I'm expecting the Red Sox to go with either a young shortstop with the 15th pick or a college pitcher. That's kind of where I'm at. Maybe a college shortstop. I could see something like that. So, young shortstop maybe, or Gavin Fiend. He's a third baseman. I could see that. He's a good hitter, good metrics as well with him. Either way, you could go a few different ways here, and I think the Red Sox, this is kind of a bit of a cop-out answer, but you kind of have to wait and see how the board just goes. I mean, when you're at 15, you got a lot of teams in front of you, and so many different things could happen when it comes to bonuses, agreeing to deals. There's a lot of negotiations and money that go into these picks. It's not just about taking, like if you're ranked 5, that doesn't mean, you take them with the 5th pick. It could be just like, what are you willing to spend? How are you willing to use your bonus pool? Every team gets a certain amount for a bonus pool for the draft. Usually those small market teams, they end up getting more. So there's a lot of different factors that go into the draft, and that's what makes it pretty exciting. So we'll see. The Red Sox can go a bunch of different ways, in my opinion. I don't think I'm going to have a good idea of what they're going to do until you see like that top 10, the top 12 even really come off the board, then you can start to dial in on who they might really go for. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I want to say thank you to all of you for how awesome you've all been here in the first half. This has been an absolute pleasure to do this every single day. We just started this channel back this past off season, right in the beginning of the off season. And this is my first time ever doing post-game shows. This is a new thing for me this year. And hey, I'm glad you all have been coming around every single night. We've really been growing here, and we've been having a great time. So it's been a pleasure, and I'm very appreciative of all of you. So thank you. So everybody, I got to get out of here. We got to get the show on the road over on the main channel for the reaction party for tonight's draft. So come on over if you want to see what's going on in the draft tonight. We'll be hanging out. I got myself a little sody pop. We'll be hanging out here tonight. But everybody, go have yourself a good rest of your night. Enjoy the All-Star break, and we'll see you again. I'll be live before the All-Star break ends, so keep an eye out for that. But everybody, I'll talk to you next time.